Hello, good morning friends. Today we will discuss regarding the evidence-based approach. So evidence-based approach, the name also indicate that all these things depend on the evidence. Evidence means proof. So when we will discuss each and everything in the related to the health sectors, so we need the proofs. So all by the government of India or by the government of each countries, all the approaches are prominent on the national and international agencies, health policies and health research, that all it means this type of the approaches or this type of the work given by any type of the agencies give the proper evidence, then we will start the research or health solutions. It is clear that when we discuss regarding the health solutions, when we discuss regarding the health problems in a particular areas, we need how this problem erupt, how this problem distribute in the community areas. So all these things, productions, distributions, and the populations, all these things we have to depend on the evidence. It is the multiple determinants in the health sectors. So evidence-based approach totally depend on the proof of the disease, the proof of the problems, the proof of the solutions. If the community sectors, the public who are living in the community, in the slum or in the any type of the area, rural area, urban area, any sectors, if they have a particular problem, if they are suffering with the any disease, they are suffering with any type of the conditions, first we collect the proofs, evidence. How many people are suffering from these problems, when they start the problems, and what is the solution of these problems. If we apply any type of the research investigations on the public, where we are investigate the solution inside the community, then this type of the evidence-based approach are needed. So different types of the three impacts levels in the evidence-based approach. First is the intersectoral assessment. Second one is the national healthcare policies. Third one is the evidence-based media in everyday practice. So evidence-based approach health had three impacts. When we will discuss in the three impacts, we need the detail. What is the intersectoral assessment? Intersectoral assessment means we are taking the assessment, we are comparing the two sectors, functions of the two sectors. Intersectoral approach, when we are like this. For examples, if we are admit in the hospitals, first of all, doctor give the prescriptions regarding the some of the investigations. So that is investigation department is different, and the medication department is the different, laundry department is the different, and food and nutrition department is the different, and yoga department is different, and counseling department is different. These all departments called the intersectoral, means different sectors come under a roof, and they will give the investigations, and they give the assessment of a single patient or a public. So when we will solve any problems, and when we are doing any research regarding any health problems, then different sectors we need to collect the assessments. Second one is the national healthcare policy. National healthcare policy also very important for know the community sectors. How the national health policies means different types of the national health policies. In India also have the national health policies. These policies are given by the government, start by the government, because they want to need that everyone is going to healthy. Every person is a healthy person. We are prevent all the diseases, we are not suffer any types of the epidemic, endemic, or any type of the problems. So national health policy also important to reduce the health problems. They are also evidence. And last is the evidence-based media in everyday practice. We collect the information, everyday improvement, everyday functions of the community peoples, everyday functions of the person who are suffering with a particular problems. So that assessment is compulsory. That assessment is very important for the evidence-based approach. So simply, evidence-based approach is a process of the systematically summarizing and assessing the quality of the published research in the specific topic area. So some of the steps we are using for the evidence-based systematic review. There are different types of the steps. Number one, define appropriate problem area. When we are doing the research, when we are doing the assessment in the community sector, first of all, we need what type of the problems in the particular community and where it is, because we need a map. If any problems in the urban area, if any problem in the rural area have the particular stage, but urban area is a broad base. So we need the particular place, which street, which colony, where it is. So first you select the area. When we are starting the evidence on the systematic approach, first we assess the area where the person is suffering. Second was formulate the problems. When we select the area, a particular area, this area is suffering with the problems, then formulate the problems, which problem they are suffering. Which problem they are suffering means if individual problems, any diarrhea, dysentery, malaria, TB, any other problems. It means we are selecting a particular problems in that area. Then afterwards, after selection of the area, particular problems, then set the criteria for identifying relevant quality evidence. Afterwards, we will start to take the evidence. How many persons are suffering? What is the sign symptoms of the disease? What are the changes in this disease time to time, hourly, daily, weekly? So this type of the criteria we will set. We will take the temperatures, any elements we are taking from the persons they are suffering from the problems. Next one we will search and find the published body. It means if this problem is going to repeat in the community sectors, we can follow the previous research evidence. How we will control these problems. So we are searching the relevant evidence. Next, abstract finding and evaluate the individual reports. Afterwards, we are searching the reports of the individual persons with the assessment, health assessments, medical assessments, and previous health history. Each and everything we will going to collect. Next one is the summarize the body of the evidence from the recommendation of make decisions. After summarization, after getting the decision, after getting the assessment, and after taking the health history of that person, individuals, public, then we will take the decisions that how to recommend, how to control, which type of the medications we will provide these persons. And next one is the specific strength to evidence supporting and recommendation of decisions. Also we will discuss and disseminate finding to appropriate holders. And totally all the department, the health department persons, personals, any nursing care personals, who give the control of this community, take the decisions, and each and everything we will provide them. Then they provide the health care facilities to the public in the community sectors. For evidence based, it's very important for any type of the research. Evidence is important to getting the tools. Different types of the studies like the health, what is the any pollution population effect by the pollutions, population effect by the dirty waters, population effect by the soil pollutions, population effect by the nutritional problems. So different types of the problems when we will study, so all these things need the evidence. When we have the evidence, correct evidence from the different sectors, then we will confirmly, yeah, successfully we complete our research work. Next point is the empowerment. What is the empowerment? Empowerment is nothing. It is the decision making power. How to take the decisions? First of all, government also taking the decisions, then how to give the proper care to the public. Afterwards, the family members also taking the decisions. Head of the family also taking the decisions that how to control this disease and how we have the healthy life to our family. And then a individual person who are suffering the problems, he also need to take the decisions that how we maintain our health, which type of the daily activity he will give, um, he will function with the our life. So the empowerment is the decision making power, and different types of the solutions we have in our community, but we need to choose and we need to get the information, correct information from the community sectors, from the health sectors, from the other sectors. So some of the scientists define that empowerment is a social process of identification and support of the individual ability to attend one's need, to solve problems, and to activate necessary resources to control one's own life. So Ibsen in 1991 he explained that empowerment is a social process. It is a social process, and by this he identified the support of an individual ability and attend own needs, and how to solve the problems, and how to activate our own body and necessary resources to control the our life. So empowerment is very also important to solve any problems. So individual central strategy can develop, such as some of the strategy are there: incorporating lifestyle changes and engaging in prevention strategy and making decision to promote the self management of the health. Incorporate lifestyle changes, engaging in the prevention strategies means how to change your life and which type of the preventions you need, and how you promote your health, and how you prevent your disease, and how take the decision for the self management of the health. These are the very important topics, and some of the health coaching is also important for this empowerment, and self management also important, and the self determination also important to get the good healthy lives. So these are the main important approaches. And last is the problem solving approaches. These problem solving approaches means you are suffering from any problems, how to solve that problems. It means discipline is also important for this problem solving approach. Sometimes it have the different perspectives. They are defined like this: ill definitions and the well defined. Ill definitions, it means those that do not have the clear goals. Those persons are not have the clear goals, clear solutions, clear way to expected solutions. And second one is the well defined. Some of persons have the clear goals. They have the healthy lifestyles. They have the particular a way that how to survive our life and how to get the good health to our family members. So these are the definitions. some of the characteristics, complex problems. So complexity, it means large number of the items, interrelations and decisions. These are the dynamic and intraparency and the politely. Dynamic time consideration means each time when we change our lifestyles, we need the different types of the health solutions. We need the different types of the diet pattern. We need the different types of our habits. So that is the dynamic. Dynamic is time changes, the time consideration process. Second one is the intra-aspirancy means lack of clarity of solution. We know that this disease is going to prevent by this, but that solution is not available at that time. So that is the enterprise. And last is the politely multiple goals. We have the different types of the goals in our life, so we are confused for that. Then so we need a single goal, a single time. That is the characteristics of the complexity or complex problems. Strategy, abstractions, analogy. What is the abstractions? Abstractions means solving the problems in model of the systems before applying it in the real systems. Analogy, using a solution that solve an analogous problems. Brainstorm. What is the brainstorm? Brainstorm is very important for the, especially among the group of the peoples. Means we are suggesting a large number of the solutions of the ideas. We are providing the ideas. We are counseling the peoples and combining, developing until the optimum solution is found. Next is the divide or conquer. Conquer means breaking down the large portions. If you have the solution in the large portions, then you can break it and you use the solutions. These are the problems into smaller and solve them easily. Lateral thinking, approaching solving indirectly or creatively, means and analysis, choosing a actions at each steps to move the closer to goal. Trial and error, it means we are using the our solution in repeatedly. And root cause analysis, identify the cause of the problems. And different types of the common barriers in the problem solving approach. These are the confirmation bias, mental sets, functional fitness, unnecessary constraint, and the irrelevant informations. So these are the main barrier to problem solving. So today it will going to finish. Thank you. Have a nice day.